things I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. So during the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts. But they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. So roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. And I have my doubts. So I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Well, certainly had a interesting news day today. Lots of stuff all over the place. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I plan to, just because it's an important step, if it's true. But Sister Renee, I was watching Bear Independent before we went live, and Sister Renee was saying something about a CEO or something like that of Dominion being subpoenaed. Now, I don't know, I may have even shared that out in the news today, and that particular headline just didn't stick. Many don't. Because, like, especially when I do the first batch, I'm just putting the news out. I pay attention. Don't misunderstand me, but there are so many headlines, and I'm doing this every day, so yeah, they don't all stick. Some I try to get stuck in there a little bit to talk about here on the monologue, but generally it generally never happens. I don't. By the time I do the show, I had so many other things going through my mind that I can't remember those headlines. So, and I don't jot them down or save them in any way. I perhaps I should, I guess. Anyway, been a busy day. I have been at it all day. Got, I would say, at least half of the place packed that needed to be, the stuff that needed to be boxed up. At least half, if not more. I had just been cooking, and I guess by the grace of the Father, that's the only thing I can say, because everything's just flowing smoothly. When I'm packing stuff, the boxes are coming out good and nicely well packed, which makes a big difference. Everything's just kind of flowing, so that's good. That's real good. Almost used up all the boxes, so I don't. Not sure now if I'm gonna have enough boxes. If I don't, probably only can maybe be short, maybe 4 or 5, at the most, and I'll make do. Whatever, Trash bags make great boxes when you don't have any other option. But anyway, been, like I say, hard at it today. Got a lot of stuff, not just packed, but because it's one thing just to throw a bunch of stuff in a box. But this is actually done in an organized fashion. In fact, done so in a more organized fashion than what we were living. And I'm doing this on purpose so that as I unpack boxes in the new place, we will be much more organized than we were here. So that's one of the great things about this move, is that we get a chance now to reorganize all of our things, because since we've been together, we have acquired quite a bit, and that gets jumbled, especially like I've talked about this before with prepping stuff. That is the prepping stuff is a big issue with being jumbled for me, because look at the time that we've been together, Jen and I, since 2014. So you think about that, that's 6 years going on 7. So, well, it'd be a little bit before 7, I guess, but yeah, that's a fair amount of time, and we've acquired quite a bit. And as you acquire things in prepping, you get things for different categories, and sometimes after a while, stuff starts to get scattered. And so this is a good thing, being able to really get down and reorganize everything. Spend some time today on a cabinet that I have, that was really in bad shape. It didn't have a back on it like it was supposed to have. That back is important. When you get it, somebody had given me the cabinet, and it apparently had fallen apart maybe more than once, and it had been kind of screwed back together and whatnot. But it's not too bad of a cabinet, and but it didn't have the back on it. And it didn't appear that it ever did have the back on it, and that is the problem. You have to put the backs on those things because they're made so cheap. If you don't, you rock them a little bit sideways and they're done. And so anyway, I'd been using the thing without a back ever since it was given to me, and then I literally hauled it from next door over to here, so it's not like I made a big move. So that's why I didn't worry about reinforcing the back. Well, now it is going to make a move that's going beyond just a doorway away. So I took time out to, I used some of that plastic chloroboard stuff that I got, and I used it and made a back for it. And it's probably going to be way more sturdy now than ones you would buy that come with the thin cardboard or fiberboard type of stuff for the back. But anyway, and plus it's held with screws, not fairly decent sized screws, not just little bitty like paneling nails, finishing nails, I guess. But anyway, so got a lot accomplished today, a lot. Even got the shelf tore down that was by the computer desk here, the news desk. Got that shelf all tore down, everything off of that shelf, boxed up, ready to go. I mean, like I say, I've been on it. I've been on it like a madman, and can't wait. So, looking very forward to this. For so many reasons, I cannot wait. I've got this living room designed out in my head, and I really hope, that, because I haven't seen the inside of the place yet, and I know there's a closet on a particular wall, and I don't know exactly where the closet door is. And, there's a lot of little things I don't know because I haven't been in the place. But I'm really hoping that the plans I have in my head don't get jinxed by a door or something. But I think we'll be all right no matter what, either way. I think we're going to be okay. I think it's going to work out nice. I think there's going to be a lot more room to work. Even though the square footage of the place isn't really much bigger, again, the space is, from my understanding, and I've talked pretty well in depth about this place with the landlord. From my understanding, the usable space is much different there than it is here. Like, our living room just does not have much usable space as far as for what we need. We need, the usable spaces that we need on walls are large, not small. And where we currently are, the usable spaces are pretty small. And, the larger ones, there's not much of them. And because of other decisions I made before in setting up the living room, it would be really hard to reset this one up in a manner that would be different and usable and maybe even a little better than what it is set up right now. Anyway, so looking forward to getting in there and getting this stuff set up. And I've got one wall that I just cannot wait. I've got a shelf picked out that I want to get for it. I want to get the Bible timeline to put on one side of the bookshelf, and the and a world map to put on the other side of the shelf, and then I'm gonna put our kitchen table. I'm actually gonna put in front of it, a little ways away, but in front of the shelf, because I'm gonna shoot videos there, and And if we have guests over or whatever, we'll have a table and chairs to sit down at. So, and it'd be by a nice populated bookshelf, because I'm telling you what, I boxed up a lot of books today, so a ton of them. Jen's got a lot of books, so, and I've got a fair amount of books related to like religion and biblical stuff. I got a fair amount of books, so between the two of us, we ought to populate that bookshelf quite nicely. Let's see. Let me pull it up on another screen here, and I'll show you, because I just think it's going to go so nice. Wait, what the heck was that? Oh. Well, I didn't mean to bring that up, but I did, so hang on. Let me bring up the one that I intended to bring up. I just want to sign in, man. All I want to do. I have never really been excited about decorating a place until now. And I have no idea why, but it's them. Anyway, that's the bookshelf that I want. I think that would look nice. The other thing I like about it is the way it's designed. It's kind of got its own bookends, you know? It's not one wide shelf that goes all the way across so that if you don't have enough books to quite make it, you know, you're kind of done. I like how it's made. So, and I think it looks nice and with what I intend to do, because this sucker is going to go on one side of it. And I can't wait. The thing's 37 inches by 45 inches, so it's not tiny. And there's poster hangers that you can get. Let me find that. If you're ever looking for these, because looking for something, a solution for this, I ran across these. And it seems like a good idea. I haven't used them yet, but it seems like a good idea. Right here are hanging rails for posters, 48 inch, and you get like 2 of them for $25. And so if you've got a super big like poster or something like that you want to hang, man, because when you start talking about frames and stuff like that in those sizes, yeah, that's crazy. You know, $25, you get 2 of them, and I want to put, like I say, I want to put the Bible timeline on one side of the bookshelf, and I want to put the a world map that's close to the same size on the other side of the bookshelf. And then we've got a mirror that I had made when were we here or Mount Vernon, babe? I think we were here when I made that mirror, and yeah, we were here. I made that mirror. So anyway, it's a mirror that says the only one you are to judge is in this mirror, and then it's got the 10 Commandments, and then under at the very bottom it's got hashtag people can change. But anyway, that mirror I want to put above the bookshelf, and then above all of that, if it looks right, if it looks correct. Jen's friend had made a cross for us doing that's not needlepoint. No, that's not crochet. It's not crochet. It's, I don't know if it's quite needlepoint or what. It's not done on like a canvasy type of stuff. It's done on that plastic mesh stuff. I can't remember what they call it. I don't know that it's needlepoint. But anyway, it's a very pretty cross, and I would like to put that at the very top of all of it. So, I've never been so excited about decorating the inside of a place, but I am this place, and I am this one particular area because I think it's going to look really nice. So, looking forward to it. But anyway, that's as we can, one day at a time. Gonna have a sip. So yeah, I've personally been busy with that kind of stuff. So, and believe it or not, I'm not like completely wiped out. So, like I say, I got a lot done today, a lot more than I ever expected. So, tomorrow I'm gonna get back at it again. And to be honest, I probably will be all about wrapped up about as much as what we can be before actually moving stuff. So, because there are some things that are absolute last minute, like the computer and stuff. That's last minute. And then that stuff has to be carefully hauled, not in the back of a truck or, it needs to be hauled a little more carefully than that. Especially this newer computer tower I've got with that glass side. That's the first computer I've had with the actual glass side. All the other ones I've had the clear plastic, the plexiglass. So I think I like the glass better. In fact, I know I do. The plexiglass, man, it looks like crap after a little while, and there's really nothing you can do to stop it that I've ever found. Just looks like crap after a while. Trying to think if there's anything else notable. Can't think anything. There was I did look. There was 84 headlines that went out today. Yesterday there was 80. Today there was 84. So a lot of news today. And again, it was all over the place. The news. Not any one particular thing was prevalent over the other. So that I can think of. Everything, like I said, it's still escalating. So nothing is changing there. Everything is still escalating, and I don't know so much on accelerating. It seems to be pretty steady on its tempo at this point in time, which is an incredibly quick tempo. But at least this particular point, it's not speeding up. Now, I'm really kind of concerned that it's going to. I think real quick, we're going to see events happen that are going to have reactions that are going to be far and wide, and I believe we're going to see this, especially with the election. I think we're going to see it there the most. I don't know what's going to happen with that. It seems to be a very popular topic, and understandably, we've, for the most part, avoided it because, I like to speak from truth. I like to speak from facts. And there's not a whole lot of truth in facts that I can personally substantiate in any way involving the election. The things that I can substantiate are simple concepts like, did Joe Biden really get, like, if I'm not mistaken, the most votes ever of any president in the history of the United States of America? Are you telling me that Joe Biden got more votes than any president ever? I've got a really hard time buying that one. I'm not saying it's not possible, but plausible? I don't know. I can only speak for myself. I got, pardon me, I got burned with Obama. I can only speak for myself, but I had not a zilch, not a bone in my body wanted me to run out and register and vote for Biden. Or Trump, for that matter. What I'm trying to gauge is whether or not he did that for many others. Whether or not he engaged enough people to get out there and vote, to be able to pull that off. And I don't think so. I don't think so. Don't think so, Scooter. I just don't. I don't see it. I don't see anything so remarkable about the man. I get why Obama had a high voter turnout and had high poll numbers. I get why Trump had a high voter turnout and high numbers. I think, and I'm speaking 2016, and I think his numbers were way higher than we'll ever know. I think Trump in 2016 broke a lot of very serious records when it comes to voter turnout and anything related to voting. I do. I think Trump outdid Obama. I really do. And sit here and try to convince me that that Biden outdid that. Nah. And I'm not caught up in Trump's ego and his whatever magic spell that he has over people. But the truth is the truth. And the man's got a lot of support. I don't see Biden having that support. In fact, I don't think Biden's seen him having that support. Yeah, just it's crazy. It's crazy. A lot of misinformation out there. Be careful of that. There's a lot. That's why I said I'm gonna be looking into this. CEO of this Dominion voting machine thing and this subpoena that it was said that he had gotten. I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna check into that. You know, I mean, if I, it's messed up, and I've been watching a ton of channels now. And this is actually kind of concerning. I've seen a ton of channels now come out with videos, and I actually, to be honest, almost chuckle. Because all I hear when they're speaking is hashtag not my president. Because without saying that exact thing, they're saying the same thing. And, you know, folks, we've got times coming that it doesn't matter who's president. If you don't think that the global banking system makes the financial calls of the individual countries, I don't know what to tell you. So to sit here and say that a man wouldn't let something like a global financial collapse happen, quite frankly, is silly. So it doesn't matter whether he's at the helm or whether Biden's at the helm. We're going to have that crash. We're going to have that reset. Now, I personally, and this is my personal opinion, I personally would feel better if Trump was at the helm when it comes to that, because he's a little bit more acclimated in business. Well, you know, a little cleaner business than the president-elect. Right? Uranium, anyone? What? Huh? Drone? Huh? And that's why I keep harping to be ready. Because there are so many things coming down the pike. There's a good porch time today. I recommend you watch it. Deep South Homestead. Excellent porch time today. And he talked about the grand solar minimum, and he had talked about people not believing it, and to me that's surreal when people don't believe stuff like that, because it's a matter of science. Literally a matter of science. There's not a whole lot of guesswork with this stuff. And we are going through these cycles. It is what it is. We go through these cycles. And, there were several cycles, and there are many other cycles they're completely unaware of. And it would appear that we're coming upon a time to where many of these cycles are going to converge on one another, which is very interesting in and of itself. But what I would even go further to say is that when we reach this point in which all these cycles converge, we're going to have a pole shift. Now, it doesn't matter who the hell's in the White House. Ain't nothing you're going to do about that. A nation doesn't obtain the power to stop natural cycles like that. And to even try would be trying to play God. So just be prepared for it. The Bible actually tells you what you need to do. Actually tells you what you need to do. You can also reference history and look to see what people like the Mayans did, people like the Hopi Indians, the Aztecs, the Egyptians, many, many others. Stuff's not secret. You just have to look for it. That's why I spend my life learning. I don't spend leisure time watching TV, watching the ball games. Don't. I spend a little bit of time on Flight Simulator. And when I say a little bit of time, you could ask Jen. It is a little bit of time. Most of the time it's on the weekends, and I might squeeze out 3 hours or so throughout the weekend. 3.5. And then during the week, I might sneak in here or there for 20 minutes or something. Maybe once every other day or something. And that's not real common, to be honest. That's my leisure time. A week. The rest of the time I spend working, learning. Trying to get down to the bottom of some of the stuff that's in the news. Because some of it's really important. Some of it's incredibly important that you know the truth behind it. Why? Well, apparently, though, living your life that way is horribly bad and makes you some kind of a monster. Who'd have thunk it? I don't know. But anyway, let me go ahead and get started on the normal stuff and into the headlines, because there is a fair amount of them. Sorry, emails and all kinds of little flashy belly squirrely things. So it happens. Hey, now where did? Ah, I lost my window. It's back. Hello. All right. Let me have a sip of tea. Start on the regular stuff. Haven't gotten any more. I don't know if it's going to load. Let me try it in a different tab just in case it doesn't. Haven't really gotten any further on the audio Bible today. When I went in, I have gotten further since I've showed you guys, but I have to break it down even further than this. So right now, when you click on it, it comes to the four parts of it: the Torah, the prophets, the writings, and the second writings, otherwise known as the New Testament. And when you click on each one, now that loads up. It currently, and I don't know if it's going to load or not, because I don't know so much that my website itself is janky or whether I'm having problems with my DNS resolver. I think I'm having problems with my DNS resolver. But anyway, so right now, when you clicked on that, when you clicked on the Torah, it brings up like the entire Torah, all of it. I am going to change that, and it's going to be the different books. So when you click on that, instead of coming to here, you're going to see just they're going to be buttons that will say, it is say Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. It'll just go through all of it, and you click on one, and when you click on it, it will just bring you to that particular chapter. And the reason why I'm doing that is because of load times. It's not responding well. Apparently, this what I'm using wants to try to load up all of the MP3s that are on the page. I'm not a fan of that idea, but it is what it is, and so it's not working out so well this way. So I'm gonna try to break it down even further, like they've got it on the site that I got it from, because I suspect they had the same issue as well. So, but anyway, trying to think. I just think that's a nice little neat addition to it. And again, when I do get this section done on the website, there will be a link there right at the very beginning. When you get to the initial page for the scriptures, see, now I don't want to load. Right when you get to that page, at the top there will be a link that you can click to download the entire thing yourself, all 3 point whatever gigs of it, so you can listen to it at your leisure. When you go to their website to get it, you have to kind of download every book, separate book is how you got to do it. And then they're in zip folders, so then you got to unzip all those folders. You know what I mean? If you want to put it all together. So that's what I did. I went through that, and I unzipped it all, and I organized it all in folders, and then I took that one folder full of folders, and I zipped it up so that I could put it on the site, and you could download it at one thing, and then all you have to do is unzip that one file, and then you've got the entire Scriptures Audio Bible right there in folders organized without having to go through and unzip each separate little book. So anyway, so I've been trying to work on that, but as you see, I can start out quick and everything's all good, but then all of a sudden everything gets real hanky. So we'll see. I think it's my DNS resolver, but I'm not positive on it. I'm just gonna kind of not worry about it until we get moved, and then we're actually going to be doing a couple of changes with internet. We're going to be keeping the company, but we're at least hopefully we're going to keep the company, but we're going to be changing our service a little bit. I'm going to keep How to myself. But anyway, that would resolve any other issues I may be having. So, But anyway, that is more to deal with. So I think it's all gonna go smooth though. So far it's looking so. So anyway, sip of tea and we'll get rolling. Oh man, gotta have a vape too. I reckon after the show, I ought to replace my wicks on my e-cig. So that's done. They really need it bad. I mean, I like packed up all my vaping stuff other than what I use daily. That's it. Literally all my flavorings, everything's all packed up. Oh man. All right. I reckon we can do this. Amazon affiliate. We are up to $21.65. That is awesome. I do highly appreciate that. Yes, sir. Oh, um, this month it's coming in handy because our I didn't realize it. I got the email this morning that our hosting services comes due at the end of the month too. So that's $31.50. And luckily, that will take care of it. Unfortunately, I think it's going to come a day late, but that's whatever. We'll do whatever we got to do. I trust God, like I always say, I trust God. And if it gets down to the wire and a day or two left, and there's no way I can rob Peter to pay Paul kind of thing or whatever, then I'll just contact them and say, hey, look, don't get rid of my stuff. It's going to be the next day. don't delete my server. Just give me to the next day and I'll get you paid. So anyway, not a big deal. Shouldn't be a big deal. I've been with this company off and on since 2006. So mainly on, to be honest. I've hosted websites with this company for a long time. So I think they'll cut me slack for a day. Trying to think. Oh, anyway, yeah. I forgot I was here. So thank you. Thank you very much. It certainly does help, and that is proof of it. All right. Amazon affiliate link. It's in the description of the videos. I completely lost where I was. It's also at thewatchmannews.com in the top right there. You click that link, it just takes you to Amazon, but it does so with our special link. And when you make purchases, like your Christmas shopping, those items don't cost you anything more, but it gives us a commission. It throws a little bit our way for the sale, and it's a great way to help out. All those little bits add up, as you can see. And again, it doesn't make us filthy rich, but it helps, and it's appreciated. Every little bit helps. Okay. We also have a Teespring store. The best way to see what we have there is go to thewatchmannews.com. Scroll down on the home page. Currently 4 different designs. If you see a design you like, click on the image. There's more than just t-shirts. There's tote bags, coffee mugs, all kinds of stuff with that design. I'll be adding more designs later, but that's another way you can help support the show. And lastly, we have a PayPal donate link. That's in the description of the video, as well as at thewatchmannews.com in the main menu. When you click that, it just takes you to our PayPal donation page. You don't have to have a PayPal account. You can do so with a debit or a credit card as a guest. But I always let people know it says Transforming Disabilities up top. It also says Purpose, the Watchman News donation. That way you know you're in the right place. Yay, close those. Another sip of tea. All right. COVID. So the number currently is at 2,532 fatal cases. As you know, it's not finished updating, whichever way that may be. It's not done finished updating. I'm not sure what time they do it. I really have no idea. It might be midnight. I don't know. I think Illinois updates at noon. I'm pretty positive of it. But I don't know when Bing does their update. But anyway, I'm just literally mouth hanging open here. Yesterday, we're showing 190,771 new cases. This is why I'm like, huh? 1,408 fatal cases. And again, I'd like that number to be zero. I would love that number to be zero. But the thing of it is, I expect that number to be way more than what it is. But I don't know why it isn't. I can't figure it out. I cannot figure out. Now, could we be in one of these little, one of these little valleys here? Yeah, well, I'm sure we are. I'm sure we are. But even then, being in that valley, I would expect it to be a little higher than what it is. Now, understand, this isn't a typical, because it's flu season, COVID's going to pick up trend that I was expecting. I was expecting a massive boom because of Thanksgiving holiday. And I believe a lot of other people were expecting it too. Now, I do believe, which, by the way, I want to address something real quick that's really been making its rounds. And there's a common sense answer for it. And unfortunately, the people that want to keep spreading this type of misinformation refuses to use common sense. So there's this thing going around, and it's people playing with statistics again, and it's showing how basically there's no change in the amount of deaths in the country from the different years. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, 2020 has proven to be, if I'm not mistaken, don't grill me if I'm wrong here, but I want to say that 2020 had, at this point, has less deaths than prior years, if I'm not mistaken. And so everybody's like, huh? What? How would that, if this is... You have to look at all the statistics. You can't just pick out the ones you want to try to push your agenda. You have to look at all of the statistics. Look at all of the other deaths from all of the other things, like car accidents and stuff like that. Look at how far down they are because of a lot less travel and whatnot. Common sense things. There are a lot of common everyday type of injuries that people aren't currently having or not having as much because of the state of everything with COVID and all that, and no, not lockdowns, most of us anyway, but people aren't doing as much. They're just not as active, and so therefore they're not having as many accidents, whether it be car accidents or whether it be chainsaw accident or whatever. People are not having the accidents because they're not as active. Speaking of people not being as active, there's not as many people that are having heart attacks. Okay? There are a lot of things that play into this, that play into those numbers, and you just can't take that final number and say anything about it. You can't. You have to look deeper. The only thing that final number tells you is the final number. It doesn't tell you how you did or didn't get there, which is the important part of understanding it. So I wanted to bring that up because, folks, it's about real information. It's about honest information. It's not about bullshit. So ignore those videos because that idea behind that statistic is absurd. Of course, with all the lack of the other things that people die from, yeah, of course that's what we're going to see. And I do expect that we're going to see this number jump back up. In fact, it's already indicating that. I think we're going to see it jump back up. But I'm going to be honest. I'm not expecting a boom at this point now. I'm done expecting the boom from Thanksgiving, and I'll keep a close eye on throughout the Christmas holidays. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't expect to see a boom after the Christmas holidays. I don't. And it's very perplexing. I will put it that way. Very, very perplexing. I have no answers for it. None. Let's see. Our little town, as of today, we are at 1,307 total confirmed. And I can't remember. Seems like I said earlier. I can't remember. Been moving stuff around on my desk, so 16, I believe. 16 in the last 24 hours added, so. You have a sip of tea here and a couple of vapes, and we'll get on some headlines. Oh, man. Fun. All right. Let's do this. All right. Starting out with all stuff from today, so nothing from last night, or at least that I shared last night. I'll put it that way. Ghislaine Maxwell offers $28.5 million bail package after lawyers allege dire prison conditions. Watch police protest in Paris after Macron's government vows to scale back security bill barring filming of on-duty officers. Pandemic profiteers, Big Pharma and Big Tech cash in on COVID-19. 11 dead as small nursing home destroyed by fire in Bashkortostan. Not sure. I'm sure I got that wrong. In central Russia. Putin congratulates Biden on presidential victory, expects respect-based cooperation to serve U.S., Russian, and wider global interests. Iran stands with Turkey after U.S. slaps it with sanctions for buying Russian weapons, says Foreign Minister Zarif. I would expect that Iran would stand with Turkey pretty much regardless. A court-ordered audit concludes Dominion voting machines were intentionally designed to create systemic fraud in Michigan. So this would be leading up to what I had said before, that the CEO, it was said the CEO was subpoenaed. I don't know. Like I said, I might even have shared out that headline, and it's just not ringing a bell in my head that I did. So China accelerates recovery as key economic indicators rise its fastest pace since start of pandemic. Minister says do the minimum if visiting family at Christmas as experts warn against mixing COVID bubbles. Italy needs new curbs during holidays to avoid third COVID-19 wave, PM Conte says. A discriminatory and wrong UK health official insists no plans for COVID vaccine passports amid growing fears of mandatory jabs. Brazil says Beijing not transparent when it allowed emergency use of Chinese-made COVID-19 vaccine. Japan's Twitter killer, who preyed on users sharing suicidal thoughts online and dismembered victims' bodies, is sentenced to death. That was in Tokyo. Root F off. I don't understand that first word, or rut. R-U-T-T-E. Several arrested during Netherlands protest as hard lockdown comes into force. A Jewish high school website hacked and filled with disturbing Nazi imagery and anti-Semitic slurs. It was in New York, I guess, a high school in New York. U.S. economy still has hurdles to overcome despite COVID-19 vaccine rollout, financial analyst tells boom bust. Well, yeah, we had massive hurdles before COVID. And to be honest, it wasn't possible to fix before COVID. So, I mean, if it wasn't possible to be fixed before then, what the hell makes anybody think we're going to fix it now? It's far worse now. That's for sure. That's an understatement. Russia looks to restore status in civil aviation. MC-21 makes maiden flight using Russian-made engines and ending reliance on the West. Russia's massive offshore Arctic oil and gas discovery could dwarf Gulf of Mexico and Middle East energy reserves. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Guess what that means, if that's true. A dismissed Eton teacher loses sacking appeal after toxic masculinity lecture enraged school's top brass. Trump and Biden are the same. U.S. policy toward Iran won't change. General Soleimani's daughter tells RT in emotional interview. And I don't know on that. I don't. I'm not going to sit there and believe all the hype from the right. You know, that Biden is just going to let Iran run nilly-willy. I don't know what he's going to do, and neither does anybody else but him. And anybody else involved in it. I don't know. I have my own thoughts on the whole situation. I don't get it. I just don't. Man, they tell this lie that we're a Christian nation. And even if we just look at it on the surface and not pick it apart, we haven't been a Christian nation in a long time. Hate is not something that Father Yah likes. Righteous anger is one thing, but just hating on somebody because of where they live, what religion they are, color of their skin, their gender, or whatever, is wrong. And directly goes against Father Yah's commandments. I won't do it. And so when I look at Iran as an equal like anybody else. I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not saying I want to live there. Damn. Same thing for Venezuela. Ridiculous. Anyway, EU member states agree to set up first European defense fund. Teenager expelled from French school for saying Samuel Paty deserved to be beheaded, says the media. Cheeky Brits, I thought this was hilarious. Cheeky Brits flag BBC and politicians after Metropolitan Police ask public to report extremist views. That's classic. British government's Christmas plans to relax COVID-19 measures will cost many lives, says the top health journals. Blunt instrument being retrofitted. London mayor slams government's COVID tier restrictions. We have problems with people from MENA. Denmark changes immigrant statistics to tackle crime and unemployment. The Russian MP slams health ministry for proposing restrictions on acceptable reasons for abortion and labels the move Polish way. One person rushed to the hospital after FBI-involved shooting, reported on D.C. Metro train. Sorry, not a plane, train. Worst cruelty in history. Iran's health minister berates U.S. for blocking access to much-needed medicine amid COVID outbreak. WHO claims $28 billion funding gap in program to deliver COVID-19 vaccines, tests, and treatments to the poorest countries. I'm pretty sure I got a $28 billion funding gap as well. Digitization will double incomes in India, Asia's richest man says. U.S. sanctions over Russian S-400s have shaken all the values of its alliance with Turkey, says Ankara. So, I know that it's been kind of an on and off thing anyway with countries like Turkey and stuff like that. But I think it's going to be pretty much off. I really do. I think they're going to shove us out of the Middle East. I don't think it's going to be a matter of bringing the troops home. I think the Middle East, they're either going to shut us out or we're going to go back to war. One or the other. UK warns Facebook, Twitter, and other social platforms to better protect users from harmful content or face huge fines. Man, that's begging for censorship is what that is. A national tragedy and disgrace. Scotland reports worst drug death toll since records began more than 20 years ago. I ask you to say some prayers and have some thoughts for Scotland. China to attract international scientists to world's largest radio telescope, left unrivaled since fall of U.S. Arecibo. Dark day for LGBTQ community. Hungary passes law making adoptions by same-sex couples impossible. Entertainment workers protest in Paris as venues ordered to stay closed due to coronavirus. Inquiry finds Swedish government bears ultimate responsibility over failures to protect elderly from COVID-19 pandemic. A U.S. COVID-19 relief package set to immunize corporations from pandemic lawsuits alarms workers' advocates. And I would say be very watchful of all this kind of stuff, man. And especially these liability things. Because there's a reason why everybody's trying to get out of liability. There's a reason. I'm not going to be a part of that reason. Fun. Twitter fined €450,000 under EU data privacy rules in world's first. A move over Russia, Chinese Caribbean phone spying story gives hint of what's to come under Biden administration. Top Republican Senator Mitch McConnell recognizes Joe Biden as president-elect. Sweden suffers deadliest November since Spanish flu era as Stockholm ICUs hit 99% capacity. EU drugs regulator brings forward meeting on Pfizer's COVID vaccine amid pressure for pre-Christmas approval. Do lockdowns reduce COVID-19 deaths? Russia's experience says perhaps not, as economy defies catastrophic trends seen elsewhere. 1 in 10 people in Spain have been infected with COVID-19, nationwide antibody test finds. Schools out, French students can skip classes to isolate before Christmas to reduce COVID spread risk. It's not over yet. German envoy says still a chance EU and UK can agree on Brexit trade deal by the end of the week. Brain tsunami-like mechanism may foreshadow migraines, but non-drug therapy could reduce need for opioids, research finds. Draining a swamp, ? French couple ordered by court to destroy pond after losing years-long battle over loud frog sex. So remember that. If you have a pond, keep the loud frog sex down, or else you might have to drain your pond. Well, now, if they would have put some of Alex Jones's gay frogs there, maybe it wouldn't have been as bad. I don't know. Just trying to help. Trump retweets attorney Linwood's call for top Georgia officials to go to jail and suggests Chinese ties. COVIDiots corner, Russia's Aeroflot creates quarantine zone on planes for passengers who refuse to wear a mask during the pandemic, as if that's going to help in the recirculated air. U.S. labels Bahraini group Sarah al-Muqtar terrorist accuses Tehran of backing its plots against American soldiers. Lavrov condemns unacceptable colonial mentality of EU in Bosnia, shrugs off snub by politicians serving external forces. 40 officers suffer chemical burns to the eyes as clashes break out at Ukrainian anti-lockdown protests in Kiev. Google cries foul after EU unveils new laws challenging gatekeeping supremacy of tech giants. Like Obama, like Trump, Biden embraces Goldman Sachs bankers after Electoral College win. Well, of course. Northern Ireland hospital faced to treat patients in parked ambulances as COVID-19 cases surge. And see, I keep seeing these headlines. Why am I not seeing this indicated in the numbers where at least where I'm looking at the numbers? Why am I not seeing it? Rand Paul's message to Biden: keep the same attorney on Hunter's case if you want us to believe investigation is fair and honest. Mayor Pete set to become Secretary Buttigieg as Biden reportedly picks him for Department of Transportation. Pornhub moves to only accept Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency after Visa MasterCard cut ties over sexual exploitation report. A Los Angeles new Soros-funded prosecutor pushes for easier punishment over brutal double murder of Russian snowboarder policeman. Pelosi caught violating COVID-19 rules, makes mask compulsory in the House even while speaking. Vice President Pence says he'll get coronavirus jab in the days ahead while urging confidence in new vaccine despite speedy approval. A Trump security advisor O'Brien cuts Europe trip short and returns to the U.S. to address government hack as MSM cries Russia. And I see a number 2 up there. He didn't show that Black Lives Mattered to him. San Francisco may remove Lincoln's name from school over his minority policies. Colorado, New Jersey worshippers win U.S. Supreme Court court fight over COVID-19 shutdowns as lower courts ordered to re-examine the rules. So those are the other two added headlines. So anyway, that is the headlines. I am gonna bounce out of here tonight. I am starting to get a little bit whooped after today's packing stuff. So anyway, I am out of here. I appreciate everybody coming. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow, and I hope to see you then. As always, God bless you. We love you, and be one with your spirit.